Hello, and thank you for joining me today. My name is Jessica. I'm the arborist in the nursery yard at K&A Greenhouse. I'm going to be going over the new plants series for 2021. And today I'll be going over the new roses for this year. Just a quick little note, the new plants and thus the new roses for today are not all going to be new on the market, but they'll be new roses that we have not gotten in previous years. So that's why they're considered new, even if they may just be new to us. The first one I'll be going over is the white knockout rose. It is part of the knockout series. Most people are familiar with the red knockout and the pink knockout. There are other colors on the market now. So this one, as you can see, has the single white flower. The knockouts are known for blooming pretty much all summer as long as you keep deadheading them properly. They'll bloom from June until frost for us here in Wisconsin. This one in particular has very dark green foliage. So the website that I looked at on the knockout roses says that it's almost like a purplish black color when it comes out, and it's just a very dark green for the entire season until it gets the fall color, which is a yellow. The white knockout rose is going to be 3 to 3.5 feet tall and same width. So just give it a little bit of space. It's nice for foundation plantings if you have the space around your homes. And as with all roses, they require full sun in order to bloom the way that they should and not get too leggy when they're growing. And this one is actually hardy to a zone 4, which is a little bit more unique for knockouts. They tend to be a zone 5 for hardiness. So the white knockout is a little bit hardier and a little bit better for our zone, just in case we get those polar vortex in the winter that we seem to be getting more often. And the other knockout that I'll be getting in that's new to us this year is the coral knockout. The buds on it are a real bright orange color, and then the flower comes out. It's more of a salmon coral color. This one is a hardiness zone 5, so it is more like the other knockouts in that series. But this one is also a little bit taller. It's supposed to mature at a 4 feet tall and 4 feet wide, so it's a little bit bigger than other knockout roses that are on the market. Again, full sun for it to be able to do what it should be doing, and it actually has more of an upright growing habit versus a rounded growing habit like some of the other knockout types. This one is called White Iceberg. It's actually very well known in the rose community for those who may be collecting roses. Um, the the thing I like about this one is it's nearly thornless. So if you can get a rose that doesn't have a thorn, that's always a bonus in my book. It has a nice clear white bud and a white flower. This one also will bloom all summer long if you keep it deadheaded properly. And it's hardy to a zone 5, but I've heard some people say it actually may be a zone 4. But just to be on the safe side, they marked it as zone 5 instead. I am getting two of the Grace and Grit series in this year from Monrovia. This one is the pink bicolor, which has, you can see the bud on there is a nice dark red, which opens up to a white flower with kind of rose pink tips on it. And then the other one is the Grace and Grit yellow, which is a darker yellow bud that opens to a nice kind of butter yellow colored flower. And as it ages, it kind of changes to like a cream, almost a white flower with age. The nice thing about Grace and Grit series is that they're bred on their own root, so they're not grafted onto anything. So if for some reason the plant dies back to the rootstock, or some rodent or rabbit decides to feed on them, and it feeds all the way back to basically the rootstock, when the rose regrows, it will actually be the same rose instead of whatever the rootstock was that it was grafted onto. So you'll get the same plant if something happens to it. These are very disease resistant, and they're also hardy to zone 4. So you'll get a little bit more hardiness than with the knockout types. They're a little bit taller though. Both of the Grayson grit are going to be 4 to 5 feet tall and 4 to 5 feet wide. So it needs a little bit more space in your gardens if you decide to go with this one. And the final new rose for us this year is a climbing rose called Eden. I was not able to get in the William Baffin, which is a popular pink, and I actually have had some people requesting Eden in the last couple of years. So thought I'd give it a try. I believe it's coming from Monrovia, and it should be here right around Mother's Day. If not before, it'll be just after Mother's Day that we'll be getting this one in. Um, as with most climbers, it will need to be either tied up or staked somehow to the arbor or pergola that you're growing it onto, because it doesn't have the tendrils that like clematis has to be able to grab onto any kind of structure. And this one will need deadheading as well as soon as it's done blooming. Some say that this one blooms in June and that's it. Others have said that it blooms in June and then will repeat bloom again in August. So with the deadheading, I would think it wouldn't hurt to at least try it the first couple years just to see if it'll repeat bloom for you again in August. This one's also hardy to zone 5. Shouldn't need any kind of extra protection in Wisconsin, other than the first couple years. You may want to, if you can, put burlap around it just to protect the canes a little bit until they kind of get bigger and are a little bit more used to Wisconsin winters and the way things are here. The the climbing part of the rose, it will actually get up to about 8 feet tall, possibly only 6 feet, depending on how much sun and what the soil is that you have. It'll be about 2 to 3 feet wide. So typically, that's about the width of an arbor that you would have going over part of the garden. And that's all that I have for new roses this year. We do have other roses coming in. You can check our plant lists on our website, which is www.kandagreenhouse.com, and you have to spell the and out in that. If you have any questions, feel free to email us. Email addresses here and phone numbers here. We're doing a lot of planting now, but once we're getting going into the season, we'll have lots of people manning the phones, so you can give us a call during our business hours. We're planning to open on April 16th of this year. So we hope to see you very soon, and keep thinking spring and warm thoughts.